Hello, young or old here, and welcome to my channel. Now today I want to talk about some of my favourite touring places I've visited here in the UK. Now some of these done before I had a channel and an action camera, but I've managed to dig out plenty of stills. Stay tuned and watch the intro. Poole. Now that's a nice area on the south coast, not really that far from the Isle of Wight. Now there's plenty of cafes and small shops. If you're down that way, visit Sandbanks just to see how the other half live. The properties there cost millions. While you're in the Poole quayside, a must do is to visit on a Tuesday night, as from April to September you get a really good bike night, as long as lots of boats costing millions. The bike night is £2 to get in, but this money goes to a charity. Cars are not allowed to be in the area after 5 PM. It's purely for bikes. There's various food outlets serving food and drink, as well as a few pubs as well. While we were there, we actually jumped on the ultra fast ferry and went down to Guernsey for a day. So well worth a visit and a good day out. Weymouth is another good place to stay. I've actually only stayed there on a holiday park about 5 minutes from the centre, but it was nice and peaceful. We were there just before the start of the holiday season, so one would assume it does get a bit busier later on. On a Friday night there's a bike and a car meet on the seafront, all around the Jubilee clock. It's well worth attending, and it does get a good atmosphere. And it's got a great chippy face in it, so what more could you want? There are plenty of other places to visit near Weymouth on the Dorset coast, like Lulworth Cove with its scenery and great fish seafood sandwiches at the cafe at the bottom. Just had a really nice tuna and cheese panini and a crab sandwich. Shared it with the wife. Very nice. This is so stressful, but I managed to cope with it. There's some decent places to stay here as well, with some nice walks and a few good hikes for those well enough to do it. Take the bridge over to Portland and go and see the famous Portland Bill Lighthouse. Here again there's a nice cafe there with good food and refreshments. You can go and see where T.A. Lawrence or Lawrence of Arabia lived, and you can also see where he crashed his Brough Superior a few hundred yards away and sadly died a while afterwards. Apparently he came off the road here trying to miss two young children on bicycles, and basically came off and hit a tree. There is a good tank museum nearby that is interesting. The ground are actually free to walk around and look at some of the tanks, but there is an entry cost to go into the museum itself. That's 55 tonnes of Chieftain tank. And just my mate Mickey there, he used to service and maintain them in the army. So I've just learnt some interesting facts. This is a Saracen armoured personnel carrier. So they're used in Northern Ireland, but they didn't have the turret on with the machine gun. But still heavily armoured. Mickey says around about 10-ton mark. Heading west there are holiday resorts like Lyme Regis to visit, and halfway between Weymouth and Lyme Regis there's Bridport and West Bay. Now the road to West Bay is absolutely a great biking road and blessed with some great scenery and viewing bays to stop and admire them. Just had absolutely banging meal in that pub, beautiful steak and ale pie. mixed vegetables and a bowl of chips. But very popular bite meat. Yeah, really looking forward to staying here next year. Well, that brings back plenty of memories. A blackbird with a gibby tank bag. I had one just like that. I really liked our day trip to West Bay. So much that actually our group booked to go for September 2023. But that was the trip I had to sadly miss because the wife had COVID. So I wasn't really going to go alone, as I might have had it as well. But in the harbour area there's plenty of places to eat and drink and only a couple of minutes walk from the holiday park. There's usually a small gathering of bikes turn up there, but on a Sunday it is more like a bike meet with a decent attendance. It's a place I do plan to visit again, as I did like it there and sadly I missed my holiday. Somerset has some very nice places to visit. We stayed about 3 miles outside of Wells. Now Wells is England's smallest city, but it has a magnificent cathedral, plenty of shops and some good places for refreshments and food. There's also all sorts of places to stay, different types of hotels to holiday parks. When you're in Wells you actually normally see water flowing down the gutter channels, and that's like water flowing from the moat. All this is within the region of Glastonbury, Bridgewater, Weston-super-Mare and the Mendip Hills. If you're around the Mendips, then a trip to Cheddar Gorge is a must. Cheddar itself has a variety of accommodation and eateries, and of course a cheese shop. The gorge is an amazing road to ride down, as we went down there before I had the action cameras, but my wife managed to take some decent stills while sitting on the pillion seat as we rode down. This is one area I would like to visit again, hopefully sometime this year. So I hope you enjoyed this brief recap of Dorset and Somerset. They're both really nice places to go for a tour. You don't have to do major miles in between, so it's nice and relaxed, and yeah, you should have a good time. If you've not done these before, give them a go. So if you've liked them, please do the tick to like and subscribe, and as always, ride safe, take care, and bye for now.